Welcome to the Split Line Off-Road Podcast.
Are you ready to go GNCC racing? Fans running to the fences, side by side. Boar gets a better line. Oh boy, we got wheel to wheel right here, string. Oh, and Stu Baylor right behind him. Russell gonna try to dive bomb down the inside. No, can't get the line he wants. Duvall is in control. We open back up. Here comes Neal once again. He's looking for the pass. Oh, bumping going on.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Split Line Off-Road Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Rodney Cooper, and with me today, as always,
Brandon White here, guys. What is up?
What's going on, guys? We are back, better than ever, ready to go. We've got an awesome show lined up for you for episode 67. Today, we have crazy guests today. We have the 7-time champ Walker Fowler coming on. We got Jordan Ashburn, XC1 Dirt Bike Pro coming on. It's going to be a good show. I can promise you that. Man, I'm ready.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one for sure. Before we get going, though, we have to thank our awesome sponsors. First and foremost, we got to thank Guts Racing. They've been in business since 1985, and since then, they've been producing the best seat covers, seats, style, protection, best there is, for sure.
Yep.
Don't trust me. Trust people like Thad Duvall. Trust people like Joel Hetrick. Joel Hetrick just won Daytona on a Guts Racing seat cover. Those guys are top notch, and we are going to be giving one of them away this weekend for our GNCC Fantasy this weekend. That's right. If you've not played Fantasy, make sure you do it this weekend because there's weekly prizes. You don't have to win the whole season to win a prize. We're going to be giving away prizes, awesome prizes every week. And speaking of prizes, we're also going to be giving away another prize tonight.
That's right.
We're like Oprah. Seal Savers. Seal Savers has been in the game. First original fork seal. They've been in business for 21 years. The ultimate seal protection for UTVs, ATVs, dirt bikes, side-by-sides, mountain bikes, trucks, palms. They got it all. Phone cases. They got phone cases yet? Probably. If not, they're working on it.
Yeah, they got some kind of watch protector.
You can save 25% off of anything on their website by using the discount code Capital Split Line for 25%. So go there and save on their already affordable products. And speaking of saving, next week, we're going to be giving away one of these things, a Sunstar chain and sprocket kit, which is awesome. That was our first week giveaway, and it'll be our 4th week giveaway.
Well, I mean, we'll probably take a
week off. No, we give it away on the races. So, but anyways, Sunstar sprockets and chains, best there is. Those guys are awesome. We appreciate all those guys that help us out. Doug Kirk, best in the business. They best chains, best sprockets. They are made with case hardened crumbly steel for ultimate strength, and you guys can get a discount code from them too. 30% off. You can use the discount code Capital Split Line 30 for 30% off anything on their website. So make sure you guys take care of that. And last but not least, our newest sponsor, we want to thank Mountain State Hair Scrambles for coming on the show. Those guys are awesome series. Awesome series. They're going to be having a race here in 2 weeks or 1 week?
Not this weekend. Next weekend, the 19th and 20th. Weekend,
they're going to be having a race at Sand Hill. And it's going to be dirt bikes on Saturday and ATVs on Sunday. So if you're in the West Virginia area and you want to check that out, make sure you do, because those guys are top-notch series. Best local series I've been to.
It's tracks are great. They do a really good job, and they keep everything running as tight, as fast as possible.
Absolutely. So, Brandon, what's up with you?
Oh, man, not much, man. Just working, trying to get, still waiting for some suspension. Can't talk right now. For my bike. We are getting ready to go to GTR for full gas sprint enduro. Next weekend, the 19th and 20th. So, getting ready for that, man. Just waiting for this big snowstorm we're supposed to get on Saturday around here, which is kind of a bummer because I was hoping to ride a little bit. But what about you?
Snow, isn't that crazy? Like, if a snowstorm's going to come, could it at least come during the week when it messes all the plans up?
Right. You know, I wouldn't mind if it was during the week, and weekends be nice.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, no, honestly, I've been working on the fantasy. This week has been kind of crazy with fantasy being just a week apart. So we appreciate all you guys getting in on the fantasy action. It has been a lot of fun. I think we're up to 58 players so far, which is kind of crazy. I'm still manually entering everything. Yeah. But my brother-in-law Tom is doing an awesome job at helping us out, try to get everything worked up with that. It's tough, but it's fun. Yeah, it's fun for sure. And this week I've been watching some good Supercross action though.
Oh yeah, man. It was Daytona was crazy.
Daytona was crazy. We got Daytona Supercross to talk about a little bit. We got Daytona Supercross ATV style to talk about a little bit. And yeah, for sure. So you want to touch on the Supercross real quick?
Yeah, we can. I guess you want to go right to Jet Lawrence's amazing victory, 12-second, 13-second, I think, lead. Looks great. Looks like the way he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Can't wait to the East-West shootout coming up soon, just so he can have some competition.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's in a class of his own right now. So I am excited real quick to see Kyle Chisholm dropping down and see how he does. You can maybe have the battle of the old men with Chiz and Nicoletti in that class for sure. Fifth with Phil, those two probably will end up battling it out quite a bit. But no, Eli Tomac, what was this, his sixth one?
Yeah.
Sixth Daytona. So congratulations to him. That's a crazy accomplishment for sure. Cooper Webb starting to look like Cooper Webb again.
He's looking better, which we figured on the East Coast where they've been riding the bike a lot, getting used to the dirt and all that stuff. He's starting to come around. Do you think he gets past in the last 2 laps?
I think it'd be close.
Whatever it was.
I kind of think that Eli would have got him. Eli was coming.
He was coming, but I think Webb was starting to pick up his game. I'm not sure if he could have found without being really aggressive, I don't know if he could have found the line around him.
Yeah.
But all in all, I kind of blame that on Cooper Webb's line choice anyways, how all that played around with McElrath and all that.
Absolutely. That was, I mean, it was a really good race between those two. The big story of the night, though, was Malcolm. And Jason Anderson. Those guys.
Was that really worth it?
No.
I mean, he was so fast all day long.
I think Malcolm could have won.
He could have.
He could have won. He could have at least been podium. Those three could have, actually those four, they could have had a heck of a battle.
Yeah, he kind of stole away our a really good race.
Kind of stole the thunder a little bit from us. Yeah.
I think he just ruined everybody's fans' night
Yeah.
on that. But it is what it is. I mean, everybody got to see Tomac break a record, and you'll probably never see that again.
No, absolutely. It's astonishing. Championship, Tomac.
Yeah, I mean, unless he has a bike failure or gets hurt.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of got it wrapped up.
I don't know about wrapped up, but I think that it's gonna be hard to beat for sure.
I mean, do you see him finishing off the podium?
I don't know. Especially, I don't see him finish off the podium.
17 points. It's
Is Kenny done?
He said he'll be back. He literally said that he'll be back. He's just taking a break. So I don't know if he's getting ready for outdoors.
Yeah.
Or whatever. That's big news too.
Yeah.
If you don't know, sure. Kenny Roczen kind of took a
hiatus.
Hiatus. Yeah. He calls it a break. Just left Supercross all of a sudden. So
yeah, absolutely.
And he did a little bit better, I thought, this week than he did the last couple. So I was kind of confused.
I think he's just super frustrated right now, and you can't say that you blame him.
Was Honda bringing a fill-in rider for him?
I don't know.
Or they just let Sexton run the show? Right?
I don't know. I would probably say just let Sexton run the show.
I mean, they got to
fight. I
mean,
well, fill-in riders they've really not done a lot of fill-in riders lately in the past couple of years. It's not seemed to have been a thing.
Right.
So I don't know. What else? Before we get into our fantasy talk,
right,
we need to mention the ATV Supercross Daytona.
Man, I'm gutted for Hogue.
I'm gutted for Hogue as well. I'm gutted for him, but I'm also happy for him at the same time because he came out with a new team. Brett Music, a good friend of ours.
What you won?
Brett Music won the Pro Sport Moto Edition, and Brett ended up saying that there was a freak part failure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I saw that, but I think Hogue would have won that race. That track was so train tracked and slot car racing that I don't think anybody could have gotten around him.
No, I mean, Hetrick would have had to get pretty aggressive with him towards the end, and I'm not sure if he would to probably get around him because Hogue was still running a good pace. It's unfortunate, though, the way that track kind of formed out for the quads. I know they came in and it was a big water hole all over the place. And, you could tell, listening to some people talk, that some of the quad pro guys were kind of upset how it all turned out. But at least they got to race it, right? Yeah, absolutely. At least they got to race it. How about Chad Wienen coming through the field a little bit? That was a hard track to come through the field on. And this might be the fire or the obstacle that lights him on fire for the rest of the season. I mean, if 5th is the worst he gets all year, I mean, when's the last time he's finished off the podium? Right. Without a without a part breakdown or something. That chain, like 2 years ago. Right. Yeah, he's a machine. So it's going to be fun to watch this season. We'll be watching for sure. Really pulling for Brandon Hogue and the Brett Music Racing team. Those guys are awesome, and Brett really got a good rider when he picked one. Yeah. So I think that having Brandon Hogue available is probably what pushed Brett to make a team. Because Hogue has got it. I could see championships in Hogue's future. Yeah, I mean, he's a great rider. I mean, he's been on the podium more than once, and he can definitely do it. I think he's got a good team behind him now. Yeah, I know they're new, but they've been having Brett and his dad's been doing it for years. Yeah, CD. They always have reliable equipment too. So I mean, one breakdown, isn't too bad. So yeah. So let's get into fantasy. Which one do you want to cover first? Let's just run through Rocky Mountain, and then we'll go through the pulp, and then we'll get to the featured fantasy for this week. Well, Rocky Mountain right now we got JDMX050, which is Jeremy DeWitt in first, McVurry in second, B Marudo in third, Ronnie B109 in fourth, Big Ben in fifth, Jay in sixth, MX Girl seventh, and I'm in 12th. I'm coming up. Okay, I don't know what we were at in there. I forgot. I forgot to do my team on Rocky Mountain. How do you forget? I got a lot. I'm building a fantasy site myself. Oh, jeez. Excuses. You just don't like to play it. Yeah. I don't know. Okay, so talk to us about some pulp. All right, some pulp. So for the overall, for the weekend, RJ255 won. And I don't know how that's even possible. Brandenburg? Yeah. Gosh. Yeah. And then it was Chase Boubert in second, JDMX 50 in third, Mason Soul Sabers in fourth, MX Girl in fifth. Hey, you got 10th. Hey, I'm coming. Right. I'm slow and steady is winning the race. Right. What's the championship look like for the top three? The championship for the top three, Mason Soul Sabers is back on top. Yeah. Kyle Murray must have had a bad week or forgot to do his picks or something because he was nowhere near anywhere. Man, Kyler. What are you doing, dude? So Hammer 512 is in second, and GNCC 62243 is in third. Okay, nice, nice. All right, now let's get to the featured fantasy. That is the split line off road GNCC fantasy that we have been performing. It has been a lot of fun. A lot of riders have been paying attention. A lot of guys have been getting involved. A lot of guys are finding out about it. They're like, "Oh wow!" Yeah. And if you guys haven't played yet, we are giving weekly prizes away. You can still win something. You can still have fun for the rest of the season. And honestly, 2 races down, I mean, Stu's done it before, so why can't you, right? AJ Connors took the win, and Tracy Pierce actually tied, I believe. Hang on, no, that's wrong. Those are what are you doing? No, that was my bad. I was gonna say, what are you doing? My bad. I have 2 sheets, and I did the 30th place person. I was gonna say, man, I was like, what are you doing? Okay. It's our first time, guys. Yeah, my bad. Okay. Week two. Williams 316 won. Yeah, I was gonna say. And then Justin Miller actually tied for first place. Those guys won the RG Almost Heaven t-shirts this week. Brandon Whitehair finished third. That's right. Nathan Cox fourth, and Justin Groff finished fifth. And for the overall,
right now. Brandon is winning with 312 points. Tom Williams, who is the guy that is helping us make this happen, is in second place. And in third place, Zach Botwell.
Where's Rodney Cooper?
Rodney Cooper's down there. Brittany, actually, my wife, who's going to be joining us here soon for the Seal Savers giveaway. Yeah. She actually was bragging the fact that she's ahead of me.
That's funny.
So, yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I guess.
Terrible.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. So Wild Boar was this past weekend, and it looked to be a rough track.
It was a little rough.
Want to give shout outs to all the guys that got hurt. We had Josh Toth go down.
He's okay though.
Yeah,
at least that's what he says. He's okay.
Joseph Garcia, man, they're dropping like flies.
He took second. But I don't know did he get hurt in the race or did he get hurt at practice? I got messing around because he took second overall. So did he finish with a broken hand?
He finished with a broken hand.
Okay.
And then they went and x-rayed it later, and he found out that it was broken, so they decided to forego his last race and go get ready for his series over in Europe. Now
Josh Strang with a broken arm.
Josh is Strang with a broken arm.
Ricky Russell.
Yeah.
With the shoulder.
Yeah.
So I don't know how long he'll be out.
Yeah. I guess Toth, man, gave a special shout out to Toth, who was on our show last week. Ended up having basically, I guess, a heat stroke, right?
Kind of like, yeah.
So
that was brutal.
Yeah.
And then did you see where Batasha was kind of like lost his thought maybe I lost a nut?
I did not see that.
You didn't see that?
No, I did not see that.
You have to go check out his Instagram. He literally had to go get it checked.
Oh, that's rough.
If he had him
that's rough. That's rough.
Shout out to him, man.
Yeah, that sand, and you didn't hear of many people talking about how much fun they had this weekend.
No,
that's for sure.
I mean, you could just tell like it was like, okay, we got to do this.
Yeah.
Except for Fowler. Fowler kind of was like seemed pretty excited about it.
Yeah, Fowler was pumped about it. I think that was his sixth. We'll have to ask him. That was his sixth Wild Boar in a row. Speaking, Walker Fowler's coming on the show if you guys just joined us. So he's going to be on here at 7:30. So make sure you guys are tuned in for that. And then at 8, Jordan Ashburn's coming on. If you guys are liking what you're hearing, make sure you share it. Share it to your friends. We're sure that other people that, if you're interested, they might be interested as well. So starting out the weekend, though, the 4x4 Pro class, Brandon Frazier got his first win of the season, followed by Landon Wolf and Hayden Mickelson. That is a tight points race right now. Right now, Hayden and Brandon Frazier are tied with 51 points, and Landon Wolf is sitting at 50 points right now.
Do you think that's like kind of motivating Landon maybe to try to run all
I would say so. I would say so. Maybe. I hope so. I'd like to see Landon running.
Right. Especially with this close of a battle.
And if somebody else is going to win the championship, you'd like to see them potentially beat the guy that has been winning the championship. So, and then over in the WXC ATV class, Jessica Eloff won her race. Hannah Hunter finished second, and Tracy Pickens finished third. Jessica and Hannah are actually tied for the points right now too. They've split races, so that's going to be a fun race to watch all season. XC2, Jay Shadron went 2 for 2 so far, winning his class.
He kind of made it tough on himself this week, getting I think he had to tip over in the first turn or something.
Something like that.
Had to work his way back up.
That's a rough track to do that too as well. And then Steve Harrell, which is one of our favorites when it comes to fantasy. A lot of guys are picking him. He ended up finishing second. Wyatt Wilkins, he was our top picked ATV rider this weekend. A lot of people picked Wyatt. So, so he finished third on the XC2 podium. XC1, obviously, Walker won. Bryson finished second, Bryson Neal. And Devin Feehan came from way back to finish third. So, it was a good, strong ride by him. That was a good weekend for those guys.
Definitely knew it was a fitness, big fitness for him. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And then over on the bike side, Rachel Archer won. She won her class. Corey Steed finished second. Taylor Jones finished third. Those guys are going to be battling all year. That's going to be a fun battle to watch. I'm excited to watch that as well. XC2, Mike Witkowski is rolling right now. He won, and I think he won by a pretty good margin. Cody Barnes finished second. He is the biggest scorer of the GNCC fantasy that we have this weekend. So, and one person picked him. I forget who it was, but they picked him. He got 59 points in GNCC fantasy. And
keep him in the back pocket.
Well, now he's not going to be worth as much.
Oh, come on.
He's not going to be a 22 seed going into this weekend. I forget what his seat, what his
we'll have to get the committee together for that.
Yeah, get the committee together. Jack Edmondson finished on the podium as well. Did you see that crash that he had?
Yeah, dude, that's pretty gnarly.
He was lucky to get up after that one. That was a gnarly one.
Yes,
that was a gnarly one. Then over on the XC1, Ben Kelly won by 4 minutes.
Right. I mean, gotta give it up to Ben. Right now, I don't think anyone until we get up our way, maybe where Jordan Ashburn or somebody can give him a run for his money. But I think when you're down in the sprint open sections and more, like the open woods is where he's going to excel at. So
yeah, exactly. Let's talk a little bit. We got a few minutes before Walker comes on. I want to talk to you a little bit about the state of the bike class right now.
Oh man, I hope it. What do you think is causing this?
Well, okay,
and I wish we could get a real professional on, like our coach Rob, but we'll have to get him on sometime. But I'm just curious, do you think with Stu coming in the way he has made everybody elevate their game a little bit to where they're pushing the bike too much, or do you think maybe these bikes are letting these guys push them too hard with getting kind of sketchy? You know what I'm saying?
I think it's a combination of things. I think this day and age, we have guys that are professional athletes and they are coming in pushing speeds that are absolutely tremendously above what they used to be for a longer period of time. Right. So they're turning this into a 3-hour moto, which these athletes, they're capable of doing that.
Right.
They're capable of doing that. And when they're riding that fine line, they're riding it for a longer point of time now, where it used to be like, okay, we're going to figure the track out for the first hour. We're going to step it up a little bit for the second hour, and then we're going to race for the third hour type deal.
Now, are these tracks getting too fast? Is that a yes or no? I mean, I'm not sure.
I don't know, but then maybe. Spoiler alert, next week we have Stu Baylor coming on the show, and I'm sure that he would like to dive into this topic because he's not short of any opinions on this type of stuff. I think it's a combination of speeds. I think it's a combination of the caliber of riders that we have, and that's another big thing is the lap riders. There's a lot more people on the track right now than there typically have been.
And that's how Strain got hurt.
That's how Strain got hurt.
And I'm pretty sure Russell was the same. I think there was two people got into the lappers.
So 3 people last week. And 2 people this week.
Right.
That's 5 of our top riders, and I think as a sport, we need to I don't know what the answer is, but we need to figure out a way to protect our top athletes.
Right.
Whether that be splitting classes up, whether that be changing the format a little bit. I know that they're pretty limited on what they can do with track. The GNCC crew is amazing.
They're great.
But the thing is the sport is elevating. Right.
Well, I mean, these riders are making it like a rider like Stu, not Ricky Russell, but Caleb Russell took it to another level. Well, Stu was like, hey, I want to try to do what he did and maybe do a little bit more. Yeah.
And then another thing you got to think about is like everybody's at a training facility now. Everybody's getting faster. Everybody's eating better. Everybody is at the tip of the spear. And as well as I do, okay, so if you're crashing a lot when you're not as advanced, your crashes aren't as bad.
Right.
But the better you get, the worse those crashes are because you're riding that fine line and you're going faster.
Right.
Another thing that you got to think about that is probably increasing these speeds is the new addition of e-bikes.
Yeah.
E-bikes are allowing these guys to pre-ride the track
more than once.
Almost as much as they would in the race itself.
Because if they get there on Friday or Saturday, I mean, shoot, they can bike it on Friday, they can bike it on Saturday, and probably Sunday morning when they wake up.
They might be riding these tracks more than they do in the actual race.
Very possible.
So. We've heard Stu talking about like marking places and like visually marking places like for lines and stuff like that. So they're memorizing these insanely long tracks. I don't know what the answer is there because you don't want to take away the ability to buy an e-bike and bike the track because then you're going to hurt your e-bike sales. You're going to hurt your e-bike attendance. But I think if in a perfect world, if the guys that are going out racing, if the first time they saw the track was in the race, it would slow the speeds down.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you'd have to definitely, they'd definitely be a lot slower on that first lap.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's the bikes. I don't know if it's just everybody pushing to try to get to that next level.
Yeah.
Because there is a next level right now. Ben Kelly and Stu Baylor took it, they're on a different level. You know what I mean? So I really don't know.
It really sucks with the fact that, for all these guys, it's their livelihood and they're really working hard to advance themselves, and for them to go out so early in the season and really not get a shot at it sucks.
Right. Have you seen the numbers? I haven't seen numbers from the first two GNCCs. Have you seen?
I've not seen the numbers. No.
So I'm just curious how many people are actually out there, like bike wise, like this weekend.
I would say a lot, because it's becoming a big topic of conversation right after the race. Like, how was your race? How were the lappers?
Right.
Mikey Waynes gets an earful every time he's down there on the podium interviews talking about lappers. It seems to be a bigger topic of conversation. So it's something that definitely needs addressed. And I don't know. There's a lot, I think, that's going into this. I would say there's probably 3 or 4 different reasons why it's happening, but it's one of those things that's like, okay, 3 riders go down in the first round, 3 pro riders go down in the first round. Can we call it a coincidence? 2 more riders go down in the second round.
And
how many times does a coincidence?
More. I mean, we got lucky.
How many times does a coincidence happen before you can't call it a coincidence anymore?
Right.
So, fortunately, we're going to be having Josh Jordan Ashburn on this afternoon. We're going to talk to him. I'm sure he has an opinion on it. But here in a second, we're going to be getting on Walker Fowler. Man, let's talk just a little bit real quick about the ATV racing.
Yeah.
Man, Walker and Bryson are. I'm just, please, no breakdowns.
Right.
I just want to see these two battle it out all season long.
Right.
Because it's going to be a really good season if these two can battle it out all year long. Yeah. If they just start trading blows, it's going to be good. And then you got to think Hunter Hart's going to be stepping up and getting in there soon.
McClure's right there.
McClure was actually leading this weekend, and I heard that he had a sickness that over the week that kind of hindered him later in the race. Right. So, McClure looks good. McClure looks fast. He looks confident too. Yeah. And then also, I mean, Devin Feehan is riding out of his mind right now. I would have loved to seen could he have been up there with Walker and Bryson if he wouldn't have had a bad start and had to come back from the pack. Yeah. So it's good racing over in the ATV world right now.
Yeah. Real quick before we get Walker on, I wanted to get your opinion. What do you think this gas price stuff is going to do to the racing community?
Oh, God, are we getting into this?
I just want to throw it out there. I mean, honestly, think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Jonathan's been trying to figure out how to go to South Carolina next week. By the time you pull the camper and put the diesel and everything in there, I mean, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think it's going to hurt it? Right now, our sport with the manufacturers and everything are great. I mean, everybody's showing up, everybody's traveling, everybody's going. But are we going to start being able to afford it?
I don't know. I mean, it's going to be questionable. I mean,
do you think it'll affect the GNCC racing? Is what I'm asking.
Not right now. I don't think right now. It might. If these prices keep going up and they stay up, it might be something that you see like next year. Like, well, we just can't afford to go.
Right.
Run the national series this year.
I mean, it's a lot.
It is a lot.
It's something to think about too.
It is something to think about. So
I know it's a bummer.
Biden.
I know. Let's go, Brandon. That's right.
Let's go, Brandon. Hey, so we're going to be getting Walker on the show right now. And then after Walker comes on the show, we're going to be doing the first ever Guess Who Moto edition for the Seal Savers. So we got a fun little game show lined up for you guys before
Hopefully that's
Ashburn.
Not a disaster.
I don't think it will be.
You don't think it will be?
No, I think it'll be good. So let's go ahead and get Walker on the phone now and see what the seven time has to say about what's going on.
First thing I'll say is gas prices.
He's sent me a picture of what he's eating.
He's already in Georgia.
Yeah.
Hello?
What's up, Walker?
Walker, what's going on, buddy?
My gosh. How's it going?
Not bad, man. How are you?
I'm alive. That's a start, right?
That's a start, man. Thanks for coming on the show, man. Friend of the show, Walker Fowler, is joining us live tonight. Hey, buddy, we are live now. So this is the first time that you've been on a live show. How's it feel?
Yeah, I got to really think about what I'm saying, so if I say something stupid.
Yeah, we all look stupid,
No, yeah. So, Walker, man, come out round 2 and Wild Boar is your house, right? That seems to be the narrative down there. Come out round 1 and had a hard-fought battle with Bryson, and then round 2, same thing, and just flipped the reverse order. So, congratulations on the most recent win.
Yeah, thanks very much. Definitely hard fought, and I hated that I let that first one flip away. I mean, obviously, only getting beat by less than a half a second, and then only winning by just over half a second is definitely different. But I think that's the nature of the beast at this point. And winning's losing. So I let that first one slip away from me, and then obviously wasn't happy about that. I let it go in the last mile, and so I just told myself this last one, do everything you can to stay out front. We were able to do that, which was good. It was I don't mind riding under pressure. I just first race, I had a little bit of stuff going on, but no excuses. I made the last mistake, and this stage in the game, you can't be the last guy to make a mistake because those are far and few between. So obviously, the guy that's hot on your heels is going to take advantage of it.
Right. So how's a short guy like you be really good in the sand whoops? That's all I got to say.
Right off the bat.
I made that comment during Racer TV. I don't know if it was on there or not. Oh. Yeah, I don't know why I'm so good at sand whoops because I should not be, but we have our setup so dialed, and obviously the machine is doing the work for me because, like you said, I don't have the legs to be able to sit over the back of the grab bar.
Right.
It's full arm extension. When I sit down, I'm in the middle of the seat. So,
that's that low center of gravity.
As you're sitting here saying, he's
I have that going for me. I'm like a jockey.
It's those 80 horsepower motors that you have. I don't know if you heard.
That's what Mark
said. That's funny.
Yeah, Mark. I think you probably already know that Mark was on the show a couple of weeks ago. So he seemed to be a pretty big fan favorite. So he might be trying to show you up a little bit.
I'm sure anyone that gets an opportunity to listen to him talk and try to find anything out, I doubt you can't really talk about your job when it involves a brain in your hands. But for him to show off his skill set on over the phone or obviously on a podcast, but I'm sure people are just dying to find out any kind of little secret of any kind.
Oh yeah,
for sure. So hey, Walker, so we haven't talked to you all off season. So how was your off season? Did you have a good off season? Did you do much testing or kind of keep things the same and just stick to your program?
Did we lose you? I think we might have lost him. Yep.
Oh, we lost him.
He said, heck with you guys.
So, Brandon?
Yeah, we'll get it. Yeah. So, short man can ride some sand whoops. So.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, Walker's the best in the business. And I know that he'd been down in Florida training all off season and was able to there he is.
There he is.
Really, you guys know that I don't have cell service no matter where I go.
You know what the funny thing is you've said that to us so many times you've been on the show, and we've never lost you until we're live.
Yeah, of course. Which I'm not even at home. I'm in South Carolina. But if anyone knows someone at Verizon that's listening, can you please call them and tell them that I absolutely hate them and I'm going to switch to AT&T? I've been saying I was going to do it forever, but I think it's time because this is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
I literally don't have service anywhere.
Are you camping right now?
Am I what?
Are you camping? Because you sent me a picture. Sort of. It says camp food. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, I'm in charge of grilling. Well, not really grilling. I'm skillet frying some chickens.
Oh.
Nice.
So, and at the exact same time my phone hung up, this giant bug. I don't know what it is. sort of grasshopper or something went underneath and caught on fire. So I dropped the call and there was a fire. And I was just like, oh my gosh, what is happening? And now I have this crispy cricket. That's what it looks like it is.
Worst case scenarios all around.
Yeah. So yeah, it was weird.
Before we lost you, Rodney was asking you how the off season was.
How what?
How the off season was?
No, still can't hear you.
Can you hear me? We were asking how your off season was this year, how your program was.
The old off season.
The good old off season question.
Yep, piece of cake. Got started before Christmas. Went down to Florida. My father has a house down in South Florida, just down the street from Cole Richardson's dad, and I own 41 acres in a place called Venus. So that's kind of cool. I have my own little training ground, and my dad actually bought some property that butts up to it. So we actually have almost 60 total to be able to ride on, and pretty much been living there. That, and there's a couple little semi. I mean, they're definitely not public, and we're not really supposed to be there. But you know how that goes. No one's told us no, so the whole town rides there. So we have a couple places to ride, and couple motocross tracks, which kind of like Durham Town, like a lot of them closed or don't allow four-wheelers now, but some of them are in the process of being reopened and are going to allow four-wheelers. So looking forward to that. Yeah, just been riding and training and trying to eat right, and maybe not have a beer with dinner or two, and since Christmas. So lost, I was almost up to 180 pounds, back into the 160s where I belong. And yeah, strong. I mean, every year everyone says they're in the best shape of their life and stronger than ever, but I don't know how we can get any better. So I doubt I'm getting better, but I just feel good about it. So, yeah, at the end of the race, I got off my quad, wasn't really breathing that hard, shook Bryson's hand. He looked pretty good considering, I think he wasn't used to the heat, but he stopped. Him and Devin Feehan are probably two of the most in shape riders on our row. And, I felt like I looked just as good as they did afterwards. And so I must be doing what I need to do, and actually rode on Monday. So, to be able to race that race, take one day off, and then get right back to work on Monday, I think that goes to show that, here to play and here to stay. So
yeah, absolutely.
That was gonna be
no more off season. We're already 2 races down. That part's hard to
right.
Absolutely.
Round 3 knocking on the door.
Yeah. So hey, it was funny you mentioned the fact that you guys go to these places where, kind of like Brandon and I do, where you ride and nobody's ever told you no, you can't ride there or not. Have you ever had somebody come up to you and tell you can't ride there? Like, I mean, I'm sure you look pretty official when you're out there just riding around. So I'm curious about that.
Yeah. So, obviously we have the bikes are all stickered up, and we have all our protective gear on, and 99% of the time there's a name on the back of the jersey or the chest protector. And we had one time 2 years ago, an officer was out there. I don't know if there was a fugitive loose or what they were out there for, but he said, as long as you stay off this main road, we don't care what you do, unless we get called and, we have to come out here. But he's like, I'm not going to say anything because I ride here too. I was like, all right, that works. Cool. So we've never had a problem as long as you don't ride. There's one main road that goes to not a community, but like a little neighborhood in the back of this place. Yeah, I feel like, as long as you're respectful of areas and don't leave trash, and that's a problem with that area is people go there and they, illegally dump their lawn clippings and just garbage and stuff, and it will get shut down. And when we're there, we try to maybe clean up a little bit and try to make it better than it was, but it's kind of hard when, 10 people a day are in there ruining the place. But
right.
What do you do? So,
Uh-oh.
Yep. There I went again. Tag on Verizon.
So what were you going to ask him?
I was going to, he kind of answered a little bit for me, because I thought I was going to ask him how his body was after that beating from Wild Boar, because I heard a couple of guys, I was watching some stories and stuff, and they were saying how bad they were pretty banged up or bruised up from the sand ropes and all that stuff. So
yeah.
That was a big question to me, see how he was recovering, but he was already riding on Monday. So That was interesting.
Yeah, that was interesting for sure. And I've always wondered about that because you and I know that we go up to like the rock quarry.
On that AT&T sponsorship.
I know, right?
Maybe,
Waiting on it.
Yeah, no doubt. AT&T is the way to go. So, so Brandon, did you have?
Yeah, I was. Well, you kind of answered it already, Walker. But I was going to ask how your body was doing because I saw some people saying, some top riders saying they were pretty beat up after Saturday. So, but is he there?
At Ironman?
No, from this weekend, Wild Boar. How's the body? Is he bruised up any? Is he sore?
Good. Hell, I'm
good.
Said if I had to go racing on Monday, I would have been able to do it. So
okay.
I mean, just knees back. My wrist all winter. My property is palmettos, which if anyone knows what those are, they're just basically exposed rock tree root things with a little palm frond on the end of it. They're miserable. So honestly, I'm excited to start riding more dirt and get back to Ohio in the next. I have about 3.5 or 4 weeks back down in Florida left, and then hopefully the weather in Ohio is good enough to be able to go home and start riding at my property there, which I'm super excited about. I bought my family's property, so it's only 36-ish acres. I have the opportunity to get to like mid 40s with a couple of neighbors that might sell some stuff, but kind of cool. Almost 30 years old, bought my property, and this 2022 is going to be my first year, riding on my own ground in both states. So that's really cool. I'm pretty excited about that.
That's awesome. So this weekend we're going back to Georgia to the Big Buck facility, and last week
Big Buck General.
I mean, but it's the same facility, right?
No,
it's not.
That's Tiger Run.
No, the General is definitely a state different.
Jeez.
Huh.
The Tiger Run is Big Buck.
That's right.
Yeah, that's why we're live, because we can make these mistakes on.
Yep.
Jeez, I tell you.
Well, anyways,
no worries.
That kind of blows my last question out of the water. But in the same sense, we're getting back to the dirt. We're getting back to what you guys really run. And the last time we saw you guys on dirt, we saw a freight train battle for a lot of the race before you and Bryson eventually broke away from the pack and made it a 2-man battle. What is your thoughts on the state of the sport, as how these young guys are coming up, and it's becoming a really fun battle to watch in the front of the race?
Yeah, no, it's definitely good. I'm excited to show up to a dirt property healthy. Actually went into round 1 with what I believe was food poisoning. I didn't eat or drink anything for 36 hours before the race and pulled off a second. I was struggling so bad. Keep my brain moving and focus through, and finally was able to start, like I said, getting some water and stuff during the race. So I'm expecting to see maybe less of a freight train, but you're going to have, I bet there's 5 riders instead of 9.
Mm-hmm.
I was a literal roadblock the first 45 minutes of Big Buck. I felt bad, but I was like, if I get the whole shot, I'm just going to go the pace I want to. And anytime that I think there's an opportunity to pass, I'm going to go as fast as I can. And whenever it's not, I'm going to turtle because I feel like I'm going to die. So it worked.
So since these are a week apart, like how do you recover? Like, what do you do to recover? I usually got a couple weeks or a week in between. Now we're like back to back.
So definitely, I'm kind of new to it. I didn't believe in it, but recovery rides, whether it's or recovery exercise, just get moving, get stretching. So I did a short ride, on my 4-wheeler, and then I also did a little bit of an e-bike ride with the motor turned on low, just to get the legs moving, and then some good stretching. Spend 15-20 minutes at least getting stretched out. And then Tuesday I put in an hour and 5-hour, 10-minute ride and some bicycling and some track maintenance. Grabbed a shovel, and it was only 65 degrees, but I was trying to drain some water holes because it started raining down here in South Carolina, and just trying to get ahead of it before it all came down. So you can make anything exercise if you want. So just about got some blisters on my hand from that, and yeah, just like I said, honestly, just being active after a huge activity like that. Sunday, I was worthless. Forget about it. And I slept in the back of my truck. So everyone, it's Daytona Bike Week, so I-95 is just, there's nothing. So I was like, screw it. I have a 4-wheeler with me. I'm just going to sleep in my truck. So it's, I feel like the quad's safer, and I don't have to spend $120 for 6 hours of sleep.
Right. That's crazy.
So I was pretty sore on Sunday between the race and sleeping in my truck. But no, like I said, getting moving and then eating the right foods, that's huge. If you eat like you're going to feel like trash, and I'm as guilty as anybody. I love me some Zaxby's and fried anything or double baked this and that with cheese, but some good lean meats or fruits, vegetables, good greens. All that stuff goes a long way to really helping your body recover and needing, instead of it feeding off of what's inside your body, giving your body something that it can actually use. So
right.
Well, as I've aged, I've gotten a little bit smarter about what I'm, doing and trying to keep up. 4 years ago, I could eat, drink, lay around, do whatever I wanted, and it didn't matter. And now I kind of, got to be a little bit more conscious about my decisions, because it really does impact and reflect what I'm doing,
Right.
Especially days leading up to it. Before you could eat like crap till Friday and have a good meal on Friday and race Saturday and be good. Now it's like I have to start on Tuesday to kind of get all the crap out of me. If I did do something, or, be like, no soda for the next 3 weeks because we have all these races back to back. So I did cheat once. I had one Mellow Yellow.
Mellow Yellow is the good stuff, man.
Yeah, for sure. So a few minutes ago, we talked to you about, or heard you talk about how, like, you went up and shook Bryson's hand, and you were like, kind of like seeing like how these guys were physically, and it just shows like the mental preparation that you guys have. And like, it's like, I'm going to see, like, kind of almost sizing them up to see, like, say, how much do you have left in the tank? And we heard you talk a little bit about how it's going to be a battle between you two all season long. Man, Brandon and I were just talking before you came on the show that we're really excited about this. And we're praying like no breakdowns. We want to see you guys, just two Titans, battle it out. And is that something that you're looking forward to, since kind of last season that got a little bit cut short with Bryson's injury?
Oh, absolutely. You don't want anything handed to you. And if you truly earn something, it's even more rewarding. If a win or something comes easy, which at this point, I don't believe, even if, let's say, Bryson breaks down, you're going to have Hunter Hart, Feehan, McGill, at the sneaky state. You're going to have a slew, Glotta. You're going to have a bunch of guys that, no different than last year, just because Bryson wasn't around. I ended up, so Cole got a win, Hunter got a win, and I think someone else had also gotten one while he was gone. So guys step up and fill the shoes. So, having everyone healthy and everyone, not having mechanicals the first 2 rounds, per se. I know Hunter had some issues there at round 1, but it's going to be a long year. It's going to be fun, and I think all the riders would prefer everyone be healthy, everyone mechanically be sound, and go toe to toe with each other. The young guys, the middle aged guys, the old guys, the vets, whatever you want to call it. It's it's a lot more exciting right now on the 4-wheel side than the 2-wheel side, because I'm pretty sure I could line up an XC1 Pro bike and get about 4th place because there aren't any left.
Right. No, it's been rough over there, and we were talking about that.
It's sad, for sure.
It really is. And Brandon and I were talking before you came on about, like, what's the cause of it, and we kind of chalked it up to a combination of things with just the preparation that these guys have, the ability that they have to go 3 hours at that pace being a cause of it, the amount of people on the track. Like, kind of what do you think is going on over there?
I mean, the speed for sure. Just guys pushing to a new level again, and maybe
Did we lose him again?
Verizon. Daggone Verizon.
We've lost him 3 times now.
That's right. Sorry, guys.
No, yeah. It's
the 7-time champ.
We'll try one more time.
Needs AT&T.
needs AT&T? Verizon is not the service to be having, especially it seems to be in South Carolina or Ohio for that matter, right?
Right. Oh,
but no, I mean,
we're not getting the Verizon sponsor anytime soon.
No, we are not. No, we are not. If we don't. Are you there?
We're trying.
We're good.
We're getting this done.
Hey,
slowly but surely.
We will only keep you for a few more minutes, Walker, since it looks like you got good food to eat and the service is kind of tough. He's probably standing upside down on top of the camper at this point, right?
I tried walking up front. I was literally just thinking, I'm like, I should probably go check on my chicken, and then I walked away from that spot.
Oh man.
Oh well, what do you do?
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah. Anyway, like I said, I think speed. The tracks are faster because there's more riders, and I think having more riders, a lot of the issues are guys getting in with lap traffic or trying to follow, or use a line that they weren't really wanting to use, and now they're off the main line and they're hitting stumps and trees or dust. God only knows, but. It's a double-edged sword for sure. The tracks to accommodate that many riders have to be fast and have to be wide. But when there's that many people and guys are going that fast with that many people, things are going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I can't speak for, everyone obviously, but like I know a lot of the Supercross guys don't maybe wear as much equipment as they could.
Yeah.
I want to say, I feel like the Woods guys are pretty good about wearing maybe more safety equipment than they should, but not all of them. There's a lot of guys that don't run chest protectors, and I think that's the most asinine thing that I've ever seen and heard of in my life, but that's up to them. I'm not going to name names, and I know that they think I'm wrong, but it is what it is. The next race thing, that's debatable, I guess. But I like mine, and it makes me feel safe, and I've had zero repercussions from wearing it. So.
Yeah. Right. And when you are riding at the tip of the spear of speed, and then you combine that with riding for 3+ hours at that speed, and Brandon and I were talking about how like the faster these guys are going and the more they're pushing themselves, the more they know these tracks by being able to e-bike it as almost as much, if not more than they race it. It becomes like when you do have a crash, it's going to be a big one.
Right.
Yeah, no doubt. I didn't even think about the fact that guys are getting 3 and 4 laps on the track on their e-bikes beforehand. I think the quad guys are pretty good about only doing one.
Right.
Yeah.
But, and even for me, I still think that's one too many. I do like the e-bikes. I do think there's a place for it. I love riding it. I think it's fantastic. But, to pre-ride the course several days prior, it's just, it might be a little much for sure. So I'm sure at the end of the year, it could be something that it could be reviewed. And, I'm sure they'll try to do something to try to keep it, riders. It's probably time to start looking into that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Walker, we're going to let you go. But before we let you go, have you heard anything? Have you been hearing any rumbling around the pits about this, split line off-road fantasy that's going on? You're getting picked for a lot of the teams, even though we have you at a -1 handicap. You're still getting picked quite a bit.
Yeah. So how does that work? Like they lose points if they pick me?
No.
So you're more of like a guaranteed. Like
a safe pick.
A safe pick. So if you get first, you get second place points. If at
right
a -1.
Yeah.
At a -1.
Yeah.
So because if you don't finish inside the top 20, you get 0 points.
Yeah. So basically what we've made it is to where guys that are kind of on the bubble of finishing in the top 20, those are the guys that are like the big risk, big reward. Mm-hmm. We've seen scores upwards of like 59 points because they get bonus points if they finish, if their handicap push.
Right.
Exactly. So it's kind of fun and it kind of gives people incentive to swing for the fences and maybe go for a guy that's right there on that borderline.
Yeah, no doubt. But hopefully everyone picked me for wild board because that's 8 straight years.
That's right.
Trust me. The -1 handicap is not affecting your pick rate.
Yeah. So I saw that Ben Kelly went to -2 when do the quad guys start being even higher negative? So if you start racking off a couple wins in a row.
Well, if you would do something like you did, what year was that when you almost went undefeated? We might have to make you like a -10.
Yeah. He's worth 1 point. Actually, how about this? We will give you a point not to pick him.
Exactly. Yeah. The more guaranteed you are, and the bike guys. Before it's over, we might have to take Ben Kelly off the list completely. You know,
he just doesn't count.
Yeah, he just doesn't count. But no, it's been fun. We've had a lot of people playing so far, and
good.
Yeah, we're gonna have a website here soon. So we expect to see.
Brandon was playing. I don't know if that's fair.
Oh yeah.
I tell you.
Hey, I'm number one, Walker. I mean.
Yeah.
What can you say? I don't get any inside
that's like
information.
Inviting everyone over to your house for like some, like poker night, and at the end of the night you just have a stack of chips because you got the switch under the table when the cards are gonna get hot.
Yeah.
Right.
Trust me, if it was, I'd be winning.
No, I'm just kidding. It's all, no one knows.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely. Right. Well, hey, Walker, buddy, again, as always, we appreciate you coming on the podcast, and I appreciate you answering all 6 of our phone calls after the service belly flopped.
It's funny. I literally have 3 bars of service, and then it'll just go over. So I don't know what it is. It's like, nope, 6 minutes, that's enough.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Thanks for having me while I do have service. And thanks everyone for tuning in, and hopefully, your numbers continue to grow. And you guys are a big, so we definitely appreciate it. And we're gonna head into Georgia and see if we can't get another one down.
Yeah, absolutely. Good luck.
Man.
Good luck this weekend, man. And man, I'm sorry that we don't get to have our post podcast chat. So I'm missing that.
Yeah. Well, hey. Phone works both ways, right? I can call you guys anytime. You can call me whenever, so just let me know.
There you go, man. All right, man. Good luck this weekend, and have a good evening.
All righty, you guys too. Take care.
All right, later, bud. 7 times.
7 times.
Man, he's always a good conversation.
That was almost a 7-time phone call.
7-time phone calls. 1 phone call per championship. Once we got to 7, we had to cut it off. Right now, we're going to go ahead and jump right in to our next segment. It's the featured segment of the night, the Seal Savers giveaway. This is going to be the what do we call it? The Guess Who Moto Edition. Joining us is my lovely wife, Brittany Cooper. She is the best Cooper of the show.
You got to put the headset on.
Put the headset on. I'm glad you came. I've been crying for hours.
Oh, geez. So let me ask you a question before we get this started. Do you know what Walker Fowler looks like?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
Who won this weekend for the quads?
Walker Fowler.
Okay. Just making sure.
Just get closer to the mic.
I'm just making sure.
I sound pretty loud.
Well, in the headphones you do sound
loud.
Okay.
Headphones you sound a little bit louder. So this game, we kind of came up with this game. We've been playing this game our whole lives pretty much, but what it is we've you see somebody out at the mall with a Fox Racing t-shirt on, and you see them wearing like their DP Brakes hat, and you wonder wonder what class they race, right?
Is that guy a champion?
Is that guy a champion? Well, tonight we have turned this into a game. So we are going to show you a picture of 5 riders. And
if you're listening on Spotify, guys, sorry.
Yeah. If you're listening on Spotify, go back to Facebook and watch the replay, or YouTube and watch the replay. Right. So we're going to bring up a picture of 5 riders. And these are obviously the empty spots. And then you have classes that each one of these riders are in. Now, all of our competitors are ATV riders. So
the bike guys didn't want to participate.
Maybe next time they'll participate, because you got an awesome. So if she picks more than one right, we're going to have to flip a coin or something.
Okay.
Because we got an awesome prize to give away for whoever she picks right. So basically, what it is here is your competitors right here.
These are them.
And we are going, so number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Our competitors are going to be listed in order of from top to bottom, left to right. So left, top, right, top, and then your 3 on the bottom. And that's how you are going to organize these.
Right.
So here's your classes. We have 5 classes. We have a vet class rider. Didn't say Didn't say what class, but he is a vet
class.
rider. We have a college A ATV rider, along with a college or a schoolboy senior bike rider, both the same rider. I
thought you said they were all ATV riders.
Well, they are, but then this guy is also a bike rider.
Oh, okay.
We have a XC2 ATV rider. He was thrown in. He's actually not a competitor. He's thrown in. We have a C class rider, and then we have a guy that graduated from C class last year and is now in B class. So, looking at these pictures, Brittany, give us your honest interpretation on who you think is in what class.
Okay, do I have to start with the multicolored fly racer?
You do not. You can talk. Just be as descriptive as possible when you're talking about these guys.
Okay, I'm going to say that guy in the spy shirt is vet class.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
number 2.
Yeah.
Number 2 is vet class.
Okay. Okay. That's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm
process of elimination, isn't it?
Yes. I'm going to say guy in the lower left corner.
The guy with the bass?
I'm going to say that guy is the XC2 ATV.
Okay. Okay.
Am I doing well? Can I get a hint?
No hint. We can't give you hints. Can't give you hints.
You don't get a phone call.
You're doing great. You're doing great. The voice is great on the show. Beautiful voice.
Okay.
Man, he's really digging deep for them points.
I'm going to say that fly racer, multicolored, upper left corner.
Bottom. Up here. Okay.
Here,
with the neck brace on.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to say C class.
Okay.
Sorry. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. And then what do I have left? I have college A.
Mm-hmm. The guy that rides both dirt bikes and quads. College A quads and schoolboy senior bike.
Okay. I'm gonna say camo hoodie. I don't know. I might switch. This is throwing me off. So I have these 2 left. I'm gonna say so. One was C class last year, went to B class,
right.
Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm gonna say black, blue, gray went from C to B.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say friend in the hoodie. He's college A, senior boy, schoolboy bike.
Did she get one right? I think
she did. We have one winner.
The vet rider, right?
We have
which one?
Wait, time out. We have 2 winners.
Okay.
We have 2 winners that we're gonna have to flip a coin for.
Are you sure?
Yes, we do. Okay. Brittany.
What?
Where's the applause button? You know the button's better than I do because she did a good job. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we have in the upper right-hand corner, number 1 rider in the multicolored gear, Tyler McNabb is a C-class rider. You are right.
I got that right.
You are right. Doug Kirk, our friend Doug Kirk, number 2 in the spy shirt. He is a vet class rider. Those are the 2 that you got right.
I think those were easy.
Congratulations. What makes it?
Dirt.
Wow,
Doug. Kurt. I mean,
Doug looks like a vet class rider. It's the beard. It's the beard. Okay, and in the lower left-hand corner, Josh Wader, right here. He is not your XC2 rider. He is your C class last year and B class this year rider.
I don't
with
believe
the bass.
this. I don't believe this.
Maybe he's a fast B class rider.
I think so. He looks like it.
And then in the lower middle, we have Brandon Owens, friend of the show. Last week finished what did he finish in Big Buck?
He won.
He got second. He got second in XC2, but 12th overall.
Yeah, something like that.
12th overall in ATVs is in the middle. Brandon Owens, he's your XC2 rider, and then your third and final rider, David Hawkins. He's your College A ATV / schoolboy senior bike rider.
Great.
So congratulations. So we got to pick a winner here. We got to pick a winner between Doug and Tyler. So you get the honors.
I'm gonna Doug Kirk just commented on Facebook, so he might be mad that you called him that he looked like a
he's not mad. He's not mad.
Vet rider.
Doug is a cool guy.
Doug said, "Dang, I'm old compared to the other riders."
That's right. That's what I'm saying. Everybody else is like baby faced.
Yeah.
Give it to Tyler. That's who I was going to pick.
Yeah. Hey, thank you, Doug. We appreciate it.
McNabb.
Tyler McNabb, you are the winner of the Seal Savers. He's an ATV, so he'll be getting some coil savers. And thank you all for being a fun part of this podcast. We got to do that again. That was fun. That worked out, I think, exactly how we wanted it to.
We'll have to have another podcast so she can actually say how she picked, what made her pick, like the face, the gear, what actually made her choose these guys. But that's a whole nother podcast.
Can I just say that when you all raced, one of my favorite things besides the racing was people watching.
That's why I think she'd be the perfect person for this. And I feel like, if we get riders' wives to come on the show, I feel like they have probably perfected that art because they're in the pits week in and week out, and they see the gear combos. Right. They see.
I'll tell you what, man. Sometimes you just don't know.
They see the guy sitting over in the corner smoking the Marlboro before he gets on the line.
Yeah.
Fanny pack and a pack of cigarettes.
Fanny pack, cigarette, roll of duct tape on the bike, and let's go.
A-class.
A-class. Yeah, exactly. Oh, well, thank you so much for being a part of this first game show that we had.
Thank you.
Like Oprah, like you get a prize and you get a prize.
Right.
Yeah, so that's my lovely wife, guys. Appreciate being a good sport and hopping on the show with us.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. So now we're going to get into our final topic of the show. We're going to be having Jordan Ashburn, XC1 Pro, coming on the line. I want to get Jordan's opinion on a lot of things on the racing in general, and
get his opinion while everybody's getting hurt.
His opinion on it as well. Jordan has been a rock when it comes to this XC1 class for the past several years.
The diesel, man.
Yeah, the diesel. And I want to know how he feels about being called that.
Yeah, I don't know. He might not like it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I tell you what, if he's diesel, his stock price is up right now. Gas.
No doubt. So we're going to get him on the phone now, and we're going to talk to him about this season and just being a pro, and just the solid finishes that he's able to put in and put in, each and every weekend. Hello. Hey, Jordan.
Hey, Jordan.
How's it going?
Hey, it's Cooper and Brandon from the Split Line Show. Hey, man, thanks for coming on the show tonight. We really appreciate your time and hanging on while we were getting through our show tonight.
Oh, that's all good.
So, yeah, dude, we appreciate you being on here and talking to us tonight.
How you feeling?
Yeah, how's the body feel after that brutal race in Wild Boar?
Man, I'm still sore.
I bet.
It's like Wednesday, and I'm still feeling it.
I bet. They said that those rollers and stuff out there got pretty nasty.
It was just, I don't know. I thought it was going to be pretty dusty, and it ended up chewing down pretty far. And, man, it was just hard to get there was zero flow. I mean, it was just smashing through whoops all day.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. And how did so you got out front right early? You got the whole shot, right?
I did. Yeah.
Okay, so I thought. So how did it look on the first lap going through? I mean, with clear track compared to the towards the end of the race.
I don't think it. I mean, honestly, it didn't change. Really, I don't know. I guess it didn't change a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean. Obviously, I guess it was rougher at the end. I mean, I was tireder. It was physically tougher, but I think the section near the pits and stuff, I think it probably deteriorated more than anything because it was a little more black dirt and it got more square edged and like chopped out.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it's definitely. GNCC you really kind of have that one race a year where it is the sand whoop section and just the rough sandy race, and then the rest of the year is in the clay, the soil, the mud. And Jordan, you're really good at all of it, because I mean, we know that you've been called like the rock that's always right there, always putting in consistent rides, and maybe this year more than ever, that's kind of what it's going to take to be able to bid for a championship and bid for race wins as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess over time, like I used to be better in just the mud conditions, but I guess I have kind of acquired a broader skill set over the years and kind of tried to be better on the places that I didn't like. I used to hate the sand, and I can't say that I like it now, but I don't mind it as much as I used to.
Yeah, I understand. Are you from Tennessee?
Yeah, we have no sand in Tennessee.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I didn't think so.
We don't have any sand in West Virginia either, so don't feel bad.
Yeah.
So we call you the Diesel. Is that all right? Because I call you the Diesel a lot, because you remind me of just a diesel motor just plugging along, man, just trucking along, yeah. and you always end up on the podium.
It goes good with me.
That's good with you.
Yeah, well, so we've been talking about this for so long, and we watch the Racer TV broadcast a lot, and I've kind of gotten a sense it's like, man, okay, he's always on the podium and he's always being talked about being the guy that's always there. But I have a feeling that you're like, okay, I'm tired of hearing that and I'm ready to hear about like how I'm the best.
Right.
And is that kind of like where you're at in your career? It's like, okay, it's time to take the next step to the level.
I've never been a guy that's in the limelight, like in the spotlight of anything. And I'm totally good with that. I like to be the guy in the shadows, just always lurking around and, oh, where'd he come from? Well, I've just kind of been right here the whole time.
Yeah,
that's kind of my outlook all the time. So,
and honestly, I think that's what it's going to take this year with the whole class thinning out kind of right now, to be consistent like you are and be there every weekend. Because it seems like right now, like there's like 6 guys out, or 5 to 6 guys out now out of the XC1.
Yeah, there's a bunch of guys down right now. It's terrible. Like it's been a crazy year, really.
Mm-hmm. And it's only been 2 races.
Yeah. So it's just being consistent and trying to just if you don't have a good day, you're not feeling good, just go with it. Go with how you feel on the track.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, we just had Walker Fowler on, and he was kind of giving his opinion on the situation and everything. And it seems like, so we've had 5 top riders go down in the past 2 weeks. And it seems like there could be a lot of reasons when it comes to play as to why. What is your theory on why we're having accidents like this and injuries like this this year particularly, and kind of in the more recent future or more recent past?
I don't know specifically this year, but like I know in the past few years, maybe there's just so much pressure on everybody. Like everybody wants to come out swinging and do the best they can. And it's dog eat dog. I mean, we're all fighting for the same positions, and we're all riding at the top of the level. I mean, it's just going all out every weekend and training hard all season for the first of the series. It's just, sometimes it just gets crazy when the race starts, and, we just are going all out.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's kind of what Brandon and I kind of alluded to. Like in the past, it seems like ever since like Caleb Russell kind of stepped up the whole level of the game, it seems like it's turned into a sprint almost for 3 hours. And when you're riding at the tip of the spear of that type of speed for that long of time, it obviously creates more time for situations to happen. And then it seems like more than ever, which is a good thing, a good problem that we have, is the fact of all of the bikes that are on the track. And then you guys end up inevitably getting into to a lot of lap traffic as well.
Yeah, I would say that. I would say I agree with that. Past 2 years, especially, the numbers in the series there's been a lot more people racing, and that definitely plays a role in our speed. Like when we're trying to go all out and it's all on us, that's one thing. But when you throw lappers into the mix, who you're coming up on them so fast, they don't even know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of times I don't even rev at people because I don't even want them to try to get out of my way. I'll dare try to get around them before they even know I'm coming.
Right.
Oh, wow. I never even thought about that.
Don't even know. It's like they're like, especially at Florida this weekend, like I know almost all the guys that got hurt this weekend all collided with lappers. And it was, if I revved at somebody this weekend, it was like they would like either look back or wing around or just get really squirrely. And then it was just, I'd have to come to a stop sometimes to not run into somebody.
Yeah.
I think it kind of scares them. It's like,
it's crazy.
Because they probably they probably hear you, but they probably don't hear you coming up so fast because you're coming so fast. And then you rev it, you're like, oh my God, someone's right there beside me. So.
Yeah, and it's not anybody's intent to try to mess up anybody else's race. So they want to get out of the way. I mean, they can't always do it in the right spot. So, I mean, I don't know. It's tough. It is tough.
Yeah, it definitely creates for a situation, bad situations. And I know that I guess a lot of the guys that are in these classes that are getting lapped, they're not really even wanting to be in that race, but they've kind of pointed out of the morning race to where they're now having to do battle with the baddest guys in the business.
Yeah, and from what I see, like the morning race is so packed. It's worse. It's way worse than our race.
Yeah.
Like twice as bad. I couldn't even imagine trying, like, for the WXC riders trying to get through everybody. Like they're constantly passing somebody almost every inch of the track.
Yeah.
It's complete. It's crazy.
I kind of understand why they do it, but like you would think that they would do like the morning race, like start with either your top B rider or your A rider, and like let the afternoon be like XC1,
let the women's be in the afternoon.
Yeah, like all that would separate you guys. At least that way everybody's on the pro level when you guys are out there. I mean, that's my opinion, but
yeah, I don't know. It's like I think I can't remember the exact schedule they did at the Ironman last year, but they changed it up there because of the amount of people, which it was that rain event and all that anyways. But I'd like to know how that would work on like a good weekend, like a nice race weekend. And I think the youth were on Saturday and they had 3 big bike races Sunday.
Yeah.
And I mean, it would have to help. I mean, I know with some of the women had talked about racing in the afternoon before, and I don't know exactly why or what that would take to make that all happen, or if all of them want to do it or what. But I mean, it just trying to get all the classes in the right race would really, really, I think, help out.
Yeah. Absolutely. Sure. When we talked to Rachel Archer last year, she was all for it.
She was having the same issues.
Because she was dealing with those same issues, and a lot of these tracks are tight and technical. It makes it hard to even get around those lappers. And when you describe your style of riding, do you feel like what do you, I guess, prefer or like better? Is it that tight technical type of riding, or more of the GP open throttle type of riding?
Definitely the more technical type is more my style. I've grew up more with that stuff. I mean, the tracks there's not much of that left. I mean, honestly, we have, I would say, I mean, this is even bad to say, but like a tighter technical type track is John Penton. I mean, that's one of the older GNCC races, and it's a little bit different than, some of the other ones we have now. But I prefer those type of tracks more than the fast tracks for sure.
Yeah. So do you ride a 450 or a 350? Because I know some of you guys like to switch back and forth, or not really switch back and forth, but
I ride a 450. Okay. I did last year too.
I think did Thad ride a 350, or did he go back to the 450?
I think the Husky guys are all on 350.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. Yeah. I know because KTM and Husky make 450, 350. So I was curious. because I ride the 450, and then me and people, a couple buddies, we always talk about which one was better, the 350 or the 450 in the woods. So, yeah. So, but anyways, so you're running the national enduros and stuff?
Not the national enduros. Now I'm going to do select hard enduros this year.
Oh,
that's what I did last year. So.
Nice.
Brandon just curled his nose a little bit.
Man, I don't know
where
how
bikes go to die.
Right? I don't know how you guys do that stuff, man. Like, I like watching it on YouTube and watching you guys do it, but me myself personally, I'm no good at it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a different skill set. It's a learning experience every time I do one. I'm trying to. I mean, some of those races are 4.5, 5 hours. I mean, they're absolutely brutal.
Yeah. Have you tried the one in Wildwood Lake Raceway? I think it's like the hard 100 or hard 50 or something. It's in Ohio.
Oh, I did it last year.
Okay. I
got fourth there last year. It was really muddy last year.
Yeah. Okay. I for some reason I thought you did, because I think Ryan Sipes was talking about that and stuff. So yeah, I tell you, man, hats off to you guys. You guys to do that, because man, that takes a whole different skill set.
It almost reminds me of like a trials bikes. Yeah. Have you ever spent any time on any of those trial bikes?
I've got one actually.
Do you really?
Yeah, I cross train on one at home a lot when I'm in Tennessee.
Okay, so how do you feel like that translates really well to making you a better GNCC rider?
I think doing everything makes you a better GNCC rider, or doing everything makes you better at everything else. I mean, I think if you ride one discipline all the time, you're only probably going to be good at one discipline. Like, it's hard to go to something else. So I think Sipes really highlighted that when he started doing that a few years ago, and man, it's awesome. But that's what I like to do. I do quite a bit on the trials bike at home, and I mean, I don't ride it a ton, but it's fun to get on it and go spend an hour and a half and it's just such slow speed, such technique type stuff. There's just a lot to learn there.
Oh yeah. It's a lot. It's really a lot. So what I'll just throw it out there. What's your opinion on the electric bikes? What do you like? Do you like those? Have you ever got to ride one, or?
I've rode one once, I think, but I don't know. I don't think I ever want to give up no gasoline stuff.
That's right. I'm right there with you. It sounds really cool, like especially for like big cities or where there's not a lot of places to ride. I think you can probably get away with a little bit more because they're quiet and stuff. But I
think it's almost like another discipline you could add to dirt bikes, like, because it is something you could ride. You could go in like a wooded area in the middle of the city and ride it, and nobody even know you're there.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I mean, I think it's pretty cool.
I want to get one to take hunting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm with you though, as far as like, Brandon and I have talked about this on a lot of levels. The fact that, the sound and the smell of the races is kind of half of it's a lot of the experience when it comes to racing. And then, you talk about the lapper problems. Could you imagine if nobody could hear you coming ever? You talk about really scaring people.
I was talking with Ryan Sipes about that, actually. Of course, his son Jack is on the 50 now, and he's on one of the electric 50s. And he's like, it's so boring going to the track and like watching him ride because there's no noise.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't hear, you don't smell, you don't feel the fuel, like the gas, the smell, like it's just electric noise. Like it's just the strangest thing.
Yeah, bunch of chain slap.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Like you said, I think it's going to bring a whole different a whole different dynamic of a rider. I guess so. These guys in Baltimore and stuff aren't riding their two strokes or up and down the road and getting in trouble. They can ride their electric bikes.
Yeah. So going into the next round at the General, we heard there's potential for rain on the Racer TV broadcast. We heard the quote that Jordan likes the mud. Are you looking forward to this next race coming up, regardless of whether there's mud or not? Is that a track that you like?
Yeah, I don't love it. but I mean, I've been going there for so long. Like, it's one of those tracks, like, I don't even know if I could. Yeah, I've been going there since I was in minis, like a KX 100, 2005 or 6. So it's one of those places, like, I've been there so long. Like, I've rode every type of terrain that place has had, muddy, dry, everything in between. So I don't think this weekend will be a washout by no means. I think it'll be just a really gnarly, rutted out, old school type GC. So from that standpoint, I do look forward to it because I enjoy those technical tracks like that. And I think it'll be one of those where there's going to be a lot of lines to choose. And, one of those days you just gotta pick your way around the track, and probably can't take the same lines all day.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much the half of the race right there is choosing different lines, right?
Yeah, and it is somewhat. So I know some guys talked about, like, before, like, when I ride the track on the e-bike and stuff, I look at lines on the track and, I pick out my lines or whatever. And it seems like sometimes, of course, later in the race, those lines change and you got to switch stuff up. And sometimes that can get you into trouble too, because you'll hit stuff or find stuff off the track that you didn't necessarily ever see before.
Mm-hmm. Right. You talk about the e-biking and bringing that up. That's something that Brandon and I just talked about a few minutes ago as to the potential, I don't want to say problem, right, but like a factor for sure. You guys with the e-bikes are now capable of riding these tracks almost as many laps as you end up racing them. What's your thoughts on that? Like the ability to where the sport has kind of evolved and to have the ability to
preview the track and almost memorize it so many times.
It has its pluses, but like, I would be totally fine with previewing the track one time and done on like Sunday morning. Let's ride it one time. I'm done. Mm-hmm. But like, it gives you so much time on the track. You can over evaluate the track. Like, at the end of the day, the track's not going to be what you're going to race at the end of the day. Right. No matter how many times you look at it or memorize it, whatever, it's going to be different. So they're great for the sport because, I mean, they bring in so much money into the GNCC series. So, I mean, I don't think we're going to see us go without them. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's just something we have to adapt to and go on with.
Right.
Now, okay, when it comes to just your preference, do you like being able to know exactly what the track, like at least the layout itself looks like? Or when you're at races, I forget what series it is that you're not, like the first time you see the track is when you race it.
National Enduro.
The National Enduro, is that okay? When you're running like a National Enduro style race, or do you prefer or enjoy even the kind of like the learning the track as you're going?
I like to know, I like to know where I'm going for the most part, at least kind of have a good idea of, like, we got a field section at the whatever mile markers coming up, and and then you kind of piece the track together by knowing what sections you're at going around the track. That's kind of nice to know.
Yeah. So I think we've been calling it on here. We're calling for you to win a race this year. We've been saying it since the beginning of the
speed's there, the consistency's there. It's all got to fall together, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the plan. It's coming, I hope, and I'm not going to push it. It's just like one of those things, like, if I feel good and the day's coming and we're going to do it, we'll go for it. But it's just, it's one of those things, like, I don't know. It's just, I'm all about being consistent. I want to race the whole series. I want to be here every event. So that's my number one focus.
That's the thing that seems to be the biggest challenge so far this year. And it's funny because Brandon mentioned that. Brandon, we always do picks at the end of the show before a pre-race show, and Brandon has basically decided. Brandon's basically decided this year he's picking Jordan. He's picking Jordan until Jordan wins one, because he's saying that it's definitely happened this year. And I agree, man. This year, like it or not, you've basically almost become the biggest competitor to Ben Kelly at this point. You were right there at the beginning of the season as well, but now kind of almost putting an exclamation point on it.
Yeah. Yeah, the first round was good at South Carolina. I mean, we were pretty close by the end of the race, and I was got a pretty bad start the first round, and just took me a while to get going. And Ben and Josh got away early, and I didn't really know what speed nobody was running all day, and just kind of was there. And then towards the end, we kind of worked our way up, and I think we were 40, 50 seconds from Ben at the end of that race. And this weekend, Ben really put it on us. He was ripping the sand. He was really on it. But, I think we got races we can definitely compete, possibly for wins. And that's the goal. I mean, that's what we want to do in the end is put the bike on top of the podium.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was going to ask you was, you think where you need to maybe improve is like at the beginning of the race, middle, or the end of the race?
I would say especially from this last weekend, the last lap, I was smoked. I mean, I just felt like the track was so demanding, and if I could have managed a little better, maybe I'd have had a little more at the end to hold off Joseph. But it is what it is, and it's just every race strategy is a little different, so you got to kind of adapt a little bit to where you're going, I think, sometimes.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. So, hey, I got a question for you. We have recreated a GNCC fantasy game, and I'm wondering, because you're picked quite a bit to be on people's teams, and I'm wondering, have you heard anything about that yet? Has anybody asked you, like, are you a good pick for this round, or anything like that?
No, actually, I haven't.
Oh, wow.
Well, okay,
We're
so
gonna have to step up the game.
Well, this is only the second round. This is only the second round or post-second round that we've been doing it. So hopefully it's going to be catching on. Walker said people were talking to him about it a little bit. But, yeah, you're kind of a big pick trend when it comes to week in and week out on the old fantasy game.
Sweet. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, so basically what the game is we give everybody handicaps. So it kind of incentivizes riders or players to pick guys that could potentially finish right around the bubble mark, which is the top 20. And if they finish outside the top 20, they get 0 points. If they finish inside the top 20, they can get huge points. But then guys like you are your more solid picks. And we force everybody to pick one rider from the top 5 for a solid pick. And yeah, you're kind of at the top of the list when it comes to that, rightfully so.
Sweet. That's pretty cool. So, yeah, I've seen you guys were doing that. I wasn't exactly sure how that was all working.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you've ever heard of or played Pulp Fantasy, it kind of runs a little bit similar to that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've not done it myself, but yeah, that's pretty sweet.
So I have one last question for you. So when are we going to see a Do It for Dale bike? Since you run the number 3,
the 3 looks good.
The 3 looks really good, and just black it out, Intimidator look.
That's a good question. We'll have to see what we can do on that. That's pretty. I've talked about it before with all my buddies. We've messed around. Like, yeah, you're gonna run the 127 or the 3 because I've got the 3 last year too. I'm like, man, 3, you've got to do it for Dale. So
that's right.
You got to run the number 3.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what makes that 3 just look good on a bike, but I've always been a fan of it, right. and you're repping it really well.
Yeah. He's gonna have to get like an Intimidator right on the back of his helmet, get one of those custom helmets. Like,
hey, I tell you what, with the consistency and the speed, it's got to be pretty intimidating.
It's all good.
So, hey, before we let you go, we have a question that we ask everybody that comes on the show for the first time, and it's probably the hardest question of the show. Mm-hmm. Yep. If you had to pick one fast food restaurant and one candy for the rest of your life, what would it be?
It's hard to beat a cheeseburger, so probably Five Guys.
Okay.
And Snickers. It's a pretty easy question for me.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Man, we've had people struggle with this question, though.
Man, he was like right on it. Right on it.
He knows a man that knows what he likes, that's for sure.
I was so tempted by Five Guys today, so I was right on my mind.
I mean, that's a good recovery meal, right? Get all the carbs.
For sure. We actually went to Red Robin, so yeah.
endless fries, bottomless fries, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's right.
No doubt. Hey, Jordan, thanks for coming on the show, man. Again, good luck this season. We're excited to watch you race, watch you battle it out up front. And yeah, man, we look forward to potentially talking to you down the road. Hey, after the first win, we got to have you on, right?
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, we'll talk to you down the road. And again, thanks again for coming on.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
All right, guys,
man.
we'll talk to you down the road.
All right, see you.
All right, bye.
Yeah.
All right, Jordan Ashburn.
Yeah.
Good interview.
I'm glad he likes my Intimidator, my Dale and Hurt Do It for Dale bike. That's pretty cool. I wasn't sure if he'd be a fan of it or not.
I'm sure you're not the first person to ask.
I know, but you know.
No, the 3 does look good on the bike.
It looks really good.
And you know, going into the general, I'm excited to see, you know, what he brings to the table to Ben Kelly. I you know, obviously Ben won by 4 minutes, but I felt like that track,
it separates
people
because some people are saying riders, like you were saying, some people aren't, and it's just a brutal track.
Yeah, and you never know what's going to happen there. Right. But I think that obviously Jordan has the speed to run up front, and I don't really think that people that say that, you know, Ben's going to win every race, barring no mechanicals or any problems. I don't know, man. I think that people like Jordan have the speed to keep up with him.
Right.
I just think that Florida is kind of like your Daytona of Supercross, right, where it's kind of the outlier of the rest of the series. So you really can't. I don't know if you can take a lot out of it as far as what you can see in the future.
Right. So my question for you is, so with everybody being gone, if we would do our picks right now, which I already get my picks in my mind because I know it's coming real quick. But your top 5. Who's your top 5?
Top 5? Why are we doing top 5?
Just because I want you to dig deep and think of top 5 XC1 bikes.
Top 5 XC1 bikes. You know, I'm pretty sure that only like 9 XC1 bikes finished this past weekend. So that's a tough pick. Right. It really is, because, you know, if you talk about top 5 guys, like if we talk about overall, we'll throw Mike Witkowski in there, right, and potentially like Cody Barnes.
Like if if Witkowski wasn't doing so well, like you ever thought maybe like oh, let's go to XC1.
Well, yeah,
you know what I mean?
I mean, he'd definitely be a podium contender for sure. But I mean, I guess if we're going to do top 5 right now, I would say Ben Kelly, Jordan Ashburn. I would say, you know, you got to think of
Josh
Toth. But Toth is, you know, with him coming off of that heat stroke type of situation that might hold him back this coming round, I'm thinking that this is going to be a round where I think Craig DeLong is going to end up finishing on the podium.
What about Lane Michael?
Isn't Lane still hurt?
Is he still down?
I don't know if he finished that.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what happened to him at the Wild Boar.
Yeah.
But, you know, and then,
so
then Grant.
Yeah, Grant Baylor. He's been quiet all year.
Grant's been quiet this year.
Mm-hmm.
Grant's been quiet this year, but I think, you know, I would say that's your top 5 for the weekend. I'm going to say Ashburn's going to win. Oh, dude,
you're stealing it from me.
I'm going to say Ashburn's going to win. Ben Kelly's second, and I'm going to call Craig DeLong on the podium.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, mine was a little similar. I was going to say Ashburn for the win.
I would have put Toth on the podium had it not been for the situation last weekend.
I'm still putting Toth on the podium.
Really?
He's got the speed. He said he was good. Got some IVs in him. Recovery probably pretty good this week. Probably hydrating really well. So I think it's going to be.
You got to think of Bollinger too.
Yeah. Bollinger's riding really well.
He's right there as far. You know, I'd put him in a 4 to 5 guy.
Yeah, for sure. But Ashburn, Kelly, and Toth would be my podium this week. Just because I think Ashburn's got it in him. Yeah, I've been saying it. But yeah.
Yeah, and I think all the European guys are gone. I think what was the other guy's name? Steve
Holcomb.
Yes, I think I'm thinking that he went ahead and went back over as well early. He may have gotten hurt, or I mean, it's rough this year. But yeah, I think that's going to be my podium for the weekend. Is going to be.
I think it might be my podium for the rest of the year.
Yes, no doubt. Hey, speaking of calling races, I just happen to think, didn't I call Hogue to win the Daytona Supercross? I thought I did.
But he didn't.
He didn't.
He didn't. So,
but he came close.
But I did call Rastrelli.
But
he was on the, he was, on the podium.
Yeah, he on the podium.
He was on the podium.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he didn't win or anything like that. But,
who do you got for your ATV podium?
Man. That's gonna be a slugfest. But you know what? I'm gonna go Devin Feehan for the win, Walker Fowler second, and Bryson Neal third.
Why do you keep calling him Feehan?
I don't know.
Like a hockey player or something.
It's fun to say.
It's like Wayne Gretzky and Devin Feehan. Jeez. So you're calling Devin for his first win?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, Devin's been on the podium a lot lately. I couldn't really argue with the reason why. I
just get tired of saying Fowler.
Did you say Walker second?
Yeah. I just get tired of saying Fowler and Neal.
See, we always pick the guy that was on the show that day to win. But I think it's gonna end up being a slugfest again. I really would like to see what Devin could do if Devin got up there early and was able to keep that pace. You got the sneaky snake and Jared McClure. Mm-hmm. He's always going to be right there, sickness or not, and I think that he could potentially bid for a win as well. Right. But I'm gonna say Bryson wins this weekend. I have a feeling that this year, barring no mechanicals and no injuries, that you're gonna see a lot of.
That's what you're hoping for.
That's what you're hoping for.
That's what you're hoping for. A slugfest.
You're hoping for to see that just trading round after round.
Right.
I mean, and you're hoping for, if we saw every race come down to within a second, within 10 seconds even, mm-hmm. that would be some awesome racing to watch this season.
Yeah, it would be. It'd be intense. So who's your pick for MTB? EMTB, sorry. So this is the first round for them.
Do I have to pick the podium?
Nah, I mean, well, you got
pick a winner.
Your top three guys. I mean, jeez, top three.
I'm gonna pick just a winner.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that Nick Mackey's will come out and win the opening round.
Nick Mackey. Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
Kyle Smith.
Kyle Smith. You think he's gonna win?
Yeah.
So, okay, since we're going to do podium, I'm going to say I'm going to say Nick Mackey, Kyle Smith, and then Charlie Mullins in third.
At least I hope if Kyle Smith is racing, those three are he's racing, I don't have a sheet.
I feel like those three are the big three when it comes to the EMTB. I'm excited about getting the highlight show and watching that, and then we're planning on going to the John Penton, right?
Yeah,
that's the first round that we're planning on going on. So guys, we're planning on doing that. We got some stickers.
You said stickers and maybe
we got some stickers,
shirts.
And I'm working on ordering some shirts.
What color?
I don't know. Black on white.
Black on white.
So I thought that these guys are going to wear them at the tracks. You don't want to wear a white shirt at the track.
Right. That's
so
what I was thinking.
Black with white.
I think red with the black. That'd be sick.
Red with a black?
Yeah, like red in the background, the black split line with the mountains over top. I don't know.
What about black with red split lines?
Maybe. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
We can mix it up. You guys tell us what you like. So, Brandon, that was a really good show.
It was.
We had some issues with
Mr. Fowler.
with the Verizon service.
He needs to call his Verizon agent.
Yeah, but a great show, honestly. I really enjoyed talking to Walker. I really enjoyed talking to Jordan.
We really appreciate you guys listening to us.
Absolutely.
We wouldn't be doing this without you guys.
No, absolutely. And again, we're going to be giving away a Guts Racing seat cover this weekend.
So get your picks in.
Yeah, get your picks in. The winner of this weekend will be receiving the Guts Racing seat cover, unless it's Brandon or myself or Tom.
I don't know. I could get a nice new seat.
Yeah, exactly, right. And then congratulations to Tyler McNabb for winning the Seal Savers tonight. So, guys, like I said, it's not too late to share it. If you want to share this show, guys, we'll watch it over. We appreciate the support. We appreciate all that you guys are doing for us, and it's becoming a really fun thing with the fantasy as well.
Yeah, the fantasy is really Cool.
Yeah. So make sure you guys get your picks in. Cutoff time will be
noon on
Saturday. And I'm going to be sending out an automated message to everybody that has already played fantasy. If you've played fantasy already, I'm going to be sending out a mass message to everybody to send us your email address. And because Brandon and I are going to be working on
doing a reminder,
giving you guys a email 24 hours in advance of the cutoff time, just kind of like a friendly reminder, because I know playing split or pulp fantasy, I know that
your life gets busy,
and that email that Pulp sends out has reminded me to pick a team. Right. So we'll do that, and we won't bug you with any other emails or anything like that. We'll just send you an email like the Friday at noon before the races. That way you guys have 24 hours. If you forgot, you have 24 hours more to be able to pick your team. Right. So and like we said, a little bit of a spoiler alert. So far we have Stu Baylor lined up to come on the show next week. So I'm really excited to talk to him. He might only need one guest on that show because I'm sure he has a lot to say. And it's been a while since we talked to him. He's had a kid.
Yeah. He's broken a neck.
Maybe we'll get him to talk about the infamous alligator story.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a good show. Episode number 70. It will be, won't it? Or no, number 68. 68. Sorry. Gosh, man,
you're ahead.
Yeah, so I guess so. So hey guys, we appreciate you guys as always.
We also couldn't do this without our sponsors.
Yeah, Brandon, do the sponsor read. Yeah, Brandon.
Man, if you guys aren't running Guts Racing seat covers, and if you guys aren't using Seal Savers, and if you're not doing Sunstar chain and sprockets, you guys.
Hey, if you ain't running the Mountain State Hair Scramble series,
you guys are probably getting at least in second. All right.
Yeah,
the top guys are running them.
Absolutely.
Right? They're running them. So if you run all three of those, it's almost guaranteed first place. So you guys need to get on the ball with it. What do you think about that? What do you think about that?
That wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad, right?
I might have to have you start doing the exit read all the time so I can get the music ready.
That's right.
Yeah, start bumping some.
Gosh.
It's free music, dude. Listen, we're getting flagged for doing the non-free music. Oh. So it's free.
We're having a dance club over here, like.
All right, guys. Split line out.